Okay, we are
Oh,
live
he's back.
to the internet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I heard. I've learned some of your past history, Shane.
Oh
That was,
gosh.
Yep. Secrets have been spilled. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
yeah. You really shouldn't leave me alone with other people, or I'll be like, so tell me the worst thing about Shane that you can.
Oh no.
There was that one time, that one night at that one bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Hey, what's up? We're back on the internet.
We're back on the internet.
I haven't
Yes.
started the actual podcast yet, but
This internet thing, it's new.
it
I'm very
is
confused about it.
brand new stuff here.
Wave of the future right here.
It's gonna take me some time to get back in the groove of things with the show. I think, to be honest, it's been like 4 months since we last did a show, so we figured we'd bring you
it's
in.
just like getting on a bike, riding a bike.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I've still been streaming, but it's a little different, less official.
Aren't you like streaming, just playing video games though?
Yeah. Well, just fine.
They're just video games.
I mean, you have so many. I don't know like what you're playing every week. 'Cause it's like a new thing.
Oh, I actually keep it. I try to focus on so many at once. I'm not.
I
playing.
swear you had a while where you had every Monday was like Final Fantasy or D&D or something like that.
Well,
and
it
then
is. It
Tuesday was
it
something.
does alternate between those. That's true.
Like, I'm just like, whoa, that's a lot of different games. I guess I'm just a simpler gamer. Just give me one game and now.
but I also don't play the same ones you do. What do? You were doing your Star Wars for a while, and you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that Star Wars again with Star Wars Outlaw come out end of this
Halo.
month.
Oh yeah, I suppose I should make sure that KT Data's audio is solid here.
In sync.
Yeah, I think it sounds.
I'm ruining your podcast. I'm gonna be the guy with the I can't even do it on my mic, but the super scratchy mic, and I'm gonna be the teacher from Charlie Brown.
Can I take your order?
Now,
Would you like fries with that, sir?
Yeah, good stuff. Yep. Well,
yep.
what do we think? Yeah. Was there anything else you guys wanted to add to the notes at all? I think I got as many thoughts out as I could, but we'll try to play it by ear for the most part. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I think I'm excited to talk about this movie. It's a good one. Oh, here we go.
Good.
We got Rose Kitty in the chat.
Oh, she's giving me crap already.
That's
always good.
Streamer with the 15-plus-year-old equipment will have the scratchy mic.
It came with my Xbox controller, okay? I thought it was good enough.
Good stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. Ads starting soon. Lovely. Best possible time to start a show.
I mean,
what's that?
oh, I was like, I'm waiting for my ads about today. I got the weirdest ad on Twitch. I got a ad to join the U.S. Navy, except it was in Spanish.
Okay.
Spoiler alert: I don't speak Spanish.
No.
Other than grande or numero uno, por favor.
Mucho.
Is it, no hablo. No, wait, that's. Oh, what is the other one? It's yeah, I don't know it either.
I think you've proven your point right there.
Edo
Did it.
Puerto or something. There's like that's airport, I think. The Spanish is probably because of me. Get a bunch from being from Texas. That makes sense. Yeah.
Whoa, it's a Flintstones Fruity Pebbles ad I'm getting.
Really?
Nice.
That's fun. Never know.
Flintstones and all related characters and elements are copyright and trademark Hanna-Barbera.
You never know what you're gonna get on Twitch, I guess, for ads. That's exciting. I kind of want. You said it was Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah. Let's blah more yabba dabba do.
I gotta say, I kind of like Fruity Pebbles. They're basically Fruit Loops, but in like flake form, right?
You ever had the Fruity Pebbles that are like, where are they? They're at like, I've seen that Quick Trip where they're like just like marshmallow type Rice Krispie treats. Instead, they bake it with the Fruity Pebbles.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like, yeah, I remember that after my diabetic coma after eating one of them.
I don't know what it is. I love Fruity Pebbles. I don't as much. Like I think I'd rather have a regular Rice Krispie treat than a Fruity Pebble bar for some reason.
I mean, like, what's the most exotic cereal you've had in crispy form?
Exotic.
Yeah. It's like I've had Cheerios, Chex Mix before.
Yeah. Exotic. That I've had in bar form specifically, or
yeah, in wannabe Rice Krispie form.
oh, that's a great question. Yeah, because like puppy chow is pretty good, right? But it's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer to that one.
I think somebody actually once made me a puppy chow bar. Like they made the puppy chow, and then they made it into Rice Krispie bar-ish form, or something like that.
Yeah. Huh.
And then my dentist thanked that person for life.
Yeah.
Cavities.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Well, I suppose we can probably get going with the show. Any other questions? Maybe I'll just yeah. If you have any questions now, I can answer them. It's just gonna be.
I'll just take your lead, Dad. You're the one
Yeah.
driving the car. I'm the kid in the back. Are we there yet? I gotta pee.
Exactly.
It's a rarity for me to be in this position. So
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, let's get the show started. What do you say? Let's do this.
Sure.
All right. I usually count it down like Scott likes to do. Yeah, I was thinking about doing the show notes thing for something, but haven't quite figured that out.
Show notes.
The show bot thing, yeah.
the show bot.
It's there. I could put the link out there, but what is it? Showbot.tv. You know what? If you put something in there, then oh yeah.
You don't have it? Do you have it programmed into your bot?
Oh no, I don't. Yeah, if anybody wants to put anything in there, feel free. All right, I'm counting it down. Oh, did I get the date? I did get the date. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome back to Nerds Plus, where it's been a while, but this is where we talk about your favorite nerdy shows, on Disney Plus. This is episode 61 for Thursday, August 15th, 2024. Today we're talking about a little special program called Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm Shane.
LFG, Shane. LFG.
And there's Mike. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
What's up? It's been a while. It's been 4 months, but we're back.
I really wanted to say the actual LFG, but I didn't want you to scream at me.
That's fine. That's fine. We're okay here to do that. No, and joining us today, we have a very special guest, Mr. KT Data. What's going on?
Oh, how are you guys doing? I'm excited that you guys invited me into your, exclusive club. I thought I needed to, like, when you first asked me, I'm like, oh crap! Now I gotta add another subscription service. So which one do I need to cut out of my subscription? As there, I see the plus. I'm like, okay, that's another $12.99. I gotta, subscribe to, right?
Just your AMC A plus or whatever it's called. Is that what it's called? What do they do? I don't know. I know Brian always talked about that one, but I'm not sure. I don't do any movie subscriptions per se.
Oh,
Movie theater
I have one, and like as much as I love the AMC one,
Yeah.
where you only can get 3 movies a week, the one I have is for the Regal Theater, and they're just like, you can watch as many as you want for $20 a month, and I'm like, okay. There was a time
Oh.
where I lived so close to the theater, I was like, okay, I could watch something on Netflix, or I could just drive to the movie theater at like 8 p.m. and just watch a new movie on the screen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's usually what I end up doing.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, there was like going to movie. Obviously, for a while, going to the movies was not really a thing so much, but kind of getting back to it quite a bit at this point. You know, is how many Marvel movies? Do you remember how many we've seen now since like COVID? I guess it's been a few. I guess
Couple, yeah.
couple.
I didn't see them. Just a couple.
It's only been 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, there's not.
I mean,
too
some of them
many,
I
but-
actually like. There's only the like Guardians I saw, Shang-Chi.
Well, Shang-Chi was after. I don't remember what year that was
Yes,
actually.
yes.
Okay, was it Eternals?
Yeah. I remember I had to wear a mask to go
Yeah.
watch Shang-Chi, and I saw it like 3 times. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, the
I
only one
like
they
that one.
released straight to Disney Plus was Black Widow, because I was
Oh,
supposed to get
that's
to
right.
theaters
Yeah.
and didn't.
Sure. Yeah. Well. Yeah. What do you think, guys? We this is the first time we're talking about a movie here on the show. We might be kind of changing the format and everything, all things around. This might turn into more of a bi-weekly or monthly kind of show, possibly. And I think we're gonna get away from doing the like every single episode chat, just because it gets to be a little tedious. We're just gonna kind of
Mhm.
take it easy here for a little while and just kind of like have a conversation about a good program. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little. I'm gonna read a little summary, a little synopsis on this here movie. According to IMDb, I'm just crediting them for this. There's 3. They have 3 summaries listed.
Wow.
The simplest being, Deadpool is offered a place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe by the Time Variance Authority, but instead recruits a variant of Wolverine to save his universe from extinction. Simple, elegant, gets the point across, right? And then we have a listless Wade Wilson toils away in civilian life with his days as the morally flexible mercenary Deadpool behind him. But when his homeworld faces an existential threat, Wade must reluctantly suit up again with an even more reluctant Wolverine. All right, a little more information there. And then finally, in this multiverse story, Deadpool is approached by a man named Paradox who intends on vaporizing his entire universe because apparently it's not supposed to go on living without the now deceased hero Wolverine. Deadpool kidnaps another version of Wolverine to replace, but this only results in Paradox banishing both Deadpool and Wolverine. There you go. Good night, everybody. That's that's the movie.
That's the podcast. Yeah.
we ran it through ChatGPT, and we're good. All right.
In case you were wondering, yes, this is the 3rd installment of the Deadpool series, the very first under the Disney ownership of 20th Century Fox. And yeah, tell ya, this, oh yeah. I mean, if you're here now, you better. I mean, I got the spoilers tag out there and everything. You better, if you haven't seen the movie yet, rush out right now. Go buy it. Go watch it. Buy a ticket, possibly. It's good stuff. Let's dive into it though. Well, you know, where better place to start than that opening sequence? That was I think Mike talked about this before, you know, kind of speculated what this thing was going to be like. And right, I think you were kind of like, hey, I wonder how they're going to
Oh, the whole because when they announced it, they said, "Oh, we're not going to mess with the whole Logan story and his death." Basically, I love the intro because he's like, "Well, we lied. We're messing with this." Like, I was like, "Ha, that's awesome."
It
Just
was.
starts digging up the grave and Oh, that was a good intro. I didn't even know, like, I didn't even know how to expect walking into this movie, like what was gonna start. It just
Yeah.
started perfect.
I think you specifically didn't you say like how are they gonna something along the lines of like how are they gonna beat the opening sequence of the previous movies or something like that or
Maybe, and that I don't know if that was me or someone else, but
yeah. But
I mean,
I don't know if they could have done it better to be honest. I mean, KT, what did you what
Oh,
did you think of it?
I was like, okay, like I was really afraid, especially after rewatching the other two. They're like, oh man, it's on Disney now. Are they gonna take the safe route?
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds, being Ryan Reynolds, an amazing person as he is, he's like, no, like this is not gonna be any different than any of the previous ones, and we're just gonna go right into it. And I'm like, oh, I feel like right at that moment, I'm like, I feel like I'm safe. This is not gonna be like
mhm.
overly sanitized and stuff. It is exactly what I expect from a Deadpool movie. And possibly it might be the best culmination of all the Deadpool movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. It was I
Uh,
like
it-
of all the things I would have expected them to do. I was like, yeah, cuz everyone was wondering that exact question like how are they going to like, get tie in Logan at all or and
uh,
they did. They tied in that and everything else. It turns
well,
out.
yeah, I knew from like the leak set photos where they had the truck in the background. Like that looks awfully familiar. And then I rewatched Logan. I'm like, that's interesting because that's the same type of truck that's in the background of that shot. They're going and go mess with the Logan thing. I knew. I'm like, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Sure, shit did.
So that's the yeah, you mentioned the mentioning in sync or something in a previous movie also. I want to say was it there was some mention like somebody well maybe it wasn't you on this one
I
but
don't think that was me.
I guess
I don't recall.
I don't know. Just take credit for it though. Like
yeah
your
Yeah, yeah,
foresight.
sure, yeah, yeah. I did. I got totally.
I guess what supposedly I guess it was Deadpool 2 or something he mentioned something about getting in sync for the next one or something like that and then lo
I
and
mean,
behold
didn't he do that in the first one too, where he mentions Celine and then she ends up doing
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
oh
second
yeah
one too? So it kind of is on point in terms of theme and
maybe
stuff.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so the Celine thing, I think you're absolutely right. At the very end of the Celine thing, he said, next time I'm getting in sync or something like that, right? So so then they open with bye bye
Yep,
bye
that's
with
where
this
it
one,
is.
which is
Which was
just
great.
of
But
all
did you
the
hear what?
things.
Yeah, did you hear what all the kids are talking about? This brand new, Deadpool dance that is taking the internet by storm.
Oh
That
no.
he totally
Well,
invented.
so I wondered if like this or what is it, Living on a Prayer? Is that what the song's called? The Madonna one?
Living on a prayer.
What's the song called? Like a
Yeah.
prayer? Like a prayer,
Like
right?
a prayer. Like a prayer.
Living on a Prayer is the other guy. Who's the who's the
Van
other guy I
Halen.
can't think of? It's my
Living
life
on a
guy.
prayer.
Well, we're
Bon Jovi.
halfway
Oh,
there.
Bon Jovi.
Is that the
Yeah,
name of that one? Anyway, so yeah, basically, I never in a million years would I have guessed. I never would I have guessed I'd have adamantium skeleton used as weapons on my bingo card for 2024. Like, holy crap!
Well, I like the line when he starts, like he does the whole thing where like even in the first Deadpool he's like wait as he like pulls the skeleton down, and then he starts talking about Gossip Girl. He's like, there's 126 bones in the human body, 127 of watching Gossip Girl. Like like any way he can just watch or call out his wife or something too. I'm like, that's great.
Yep. And there may be additional mentions. It turns out in this film, but yeah, it was amazing. And then the claws and everything being like wearing them,
Yeah.
like oh my god, just holy cow too. Just seeing the bones and the everyone just getting torn to shreds. It was just amazing.
I know.
No notes.
Yeah, and he used all of the buffalo, if you know what I mean.
He did.
Sure did.
He sure did.
Oh yeah, it was good stuff. And then seeing the TVA agents as well is right off the bat. It's cool. Or I don't know if you did you watch Loki by chance?
Yeah, I did. Like right when I saw that, I was like, okay, so where in the timeline is this? Like, are we doing before Loki, mid Loki, post Loki? Because that could
Yeah.
that
I think
opened a
it's
whole bunch of questions in my mind where I'm
post
not sure.
Loki, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
Yeah,
for
was
because
like,
sure.
yeah.
In
oh
hindsight, yeah,
dear.
for sure. Yeah, because
Of course, technically the multiverse didn't start until the end of Loki season 2. If you think about it, because if you don't think about time like in a linear path and more.
yeah. Well, the other thing I had to look up was Logan was
Makes your brain
apparently.
hurt, I know.
Yeah, yeah. At this point, oh well. I had to look it up, and I guess Logan was in 2029. That's when it's supposed to take place. So
Hmm.
that being said, I mean they allude to time passing in this movie. Uh, I presume that means this was post 2029. Then this movie's supposed to take place.
Yeah, this is like 2025, maybe.
2025. So it's not post. It's not 2030 then, because okay, I'm just trying to figure out why is this version of Logan dead already? Like, you know what I mean?
Because he's jumping around in time. Okay, so like think about it this way. Look, when before Loki season 2 ended, everything was just a sacred timeline, right?
Yeah.
What they're saying, even though all these movies you've already seen with multiverse, that didn't happen until Loki season 2 ended because he allowed everything just to kind of flourish instead of sit in one sacred timeline. So
Okay.
all these movies, all the other like universes slash movies and whatnot all exist after Loki did what he did. But technically, their time frames are going for thousands of years. So it's like you got to think outside the box, kind of.
Well, my main point is trying to wrap my head around why is Logan why can't he like go back to when Logan was alive or whatever? Like what's
That I kind of thought that one, but I can't. My mind can't even get through that piece. Like, how
yeah,
does
yeah.
that work? So
What
it's just a black hole I go into, and I'm like, I don't know what else to think.
what about KT Data? Can you explain can you explain that one?
Without going into string theory and stuff, I remember the one line when a little bit later in the movie they're trying to explain anchor beings, and then Deadpool just looks at the screen. Don't think about it too much. So
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
I'm gonna stick with that one.
I should take I should take his his advice and move on. Let's talk about Drive Max. The place where Deadpool winds up, or Wade Wilson winds up working. That's a tongue twister. And of course they couldn't get the CarMax rights there, I guess, or they didn't want to pay or whatever. But that's where he and Peter are both working. It turns out now, still in the vehicles. I should say I jumped ahead a little bit because the reason he started doing that was the whole thing about this whole thing in there with Happy Hogan and everything and the interview process, right?
Oh yeah. That did happen right before, or no, the intro started, and then they went back after. Like,
Yeah.
they went back. That was 2018 technically, and that was right before Endgame, or no, Infinity War. God, see.
Well, anyway, it was fun to see Jon Favreau in there and the whole interview. Like he wants whole thing about him wanting to be an Avenger and everything was cool. And that it wasn't going to work out because what was it? He was doing it for his girl and the Avengers do it for
People.
however he worded it because
It was like you need to be an Avengers.
yeah
But Avengers are Avengers because the people need them to be Avengers.
yeah exactly
Type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I always enjoy seeing him because in an actual alternate universe, he could still be in charge of the Marvel universe. He's not anymore. But in
yeah
an alternate universe, that was his baby.
Or he's like the new Bill Coulson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know, now he got the consolation prize of running the entire Star Wars universe. So
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah. Oh darn. Oh, also in an alternate universe, he might have been. Well, actually, is he still in? He's not doing the live action Disney stuff anymore, is he?
I
Yeah.
I think he's focusing more on the. I think he's focusing more on on Star Wars stuff. On Star Wars stuff. I think that's his.
yeah,
his
give me another chef movie. Still one of
Yeah.
my favorite movies he's ever done.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I know he was doing that show. Was it? There's some kind of cooking show.
The
he
chef
did.
show. So it was the chef show, which is a spin-off of that,
Oh,
where
okay.
he's actually cooking with the actual chef consultant that they hired for the movie because they're like best friends now. But if you notice when you watch that, there are a lot of familiar names, and they even spend time on Skywalker Ranch. Then you start realizing, oh my gosh, while they're filming this chef show, he's actually working on the Mandalorian and getting all these guys in. Because if you look, a lot of those people who are guests on the chef show end up being like guest directors in the Mandalorian, and
Oh,
they're just
nice.
So he's like, okay, we'll cook for them while they're doing whatever they're doing while they're filming the Mandalorian, and we'll just get them to go in both.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. So after that, at Drive Max and everything, we see. Of course, he's in a minivan or not? Wait, was it a minivan or whatever vehicle he's having him test drive? Swearing like crazy. Not no concern
Wasn't
to
it
the
a
kids being in the
Honda or
car.
something?
Was that an Odyssey also?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
No,
just
it
trying
was
to
a
think.
Kia, wasn't it? Like,
Maybe it was a
yeah,
Kia.
yeah. I think
Yeah, it was
so.
Kia.
Yeah. Yep. And naturally the toupee that he staples on.
God.
It's a
I
it's a
forgot
look.
about the toupee.
did
It's
you
a
guys
look.
wince a little bit while he was stapling it on? Because I did. And
I was
just
ow,
like,
that was it.
oh!
Yeah. Somehow he manages not to bleed at all from that whole process either. But yeah, good stuff. Of all the places, the Drive Max. But you gotta pay the
Very
bills.
original.
Yeah. I looked it up. There is like an actual place called Drive Max somewhere, but it's. I don't think it's the same kind of thing.
That's funny.
So then we get to meet the whole gang again over there at I guess it's his apartment or whatever, right? For his surprise party, which
With Blind Al, right?
yes, one of my favorite characters. Is
She's
what
great.
she's got some of the best lines in the whole thing, I think. Mostly about certain drug.
Cocaine?
Feige doesn't let us talk about that.
Right? You want to build a snowman? Yes. Okay.
Yes. It's so great. Yeah, and then we see I can't even so obviously at least the two or three X-Men. There's the Colossus and
Colossus,
Negasonic,
and
and
Yu-Gi-Oh! Or
Well, that's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
that's what
Yogi.
he called her at one point. Yep.
Yukio, that's what it is, isn't it?
So-
yeah,
Yukio.
I think so.
Yuki, yeah.
But I just remember, hi Yuki.
Yeah, it's so great. She's like the most perky person. He's always just like, and then her, like, is it Megasonic?
And when he what is like when he gets like swears in front of her, he's like, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, wait. And her girlfriend like hates him basically. Yeah, and then I didn't even necessarily recognize all the people in there. It's like the bearded guy.
Oh yeah, Buck,
Well,
the one that doesn't get speaking lines.
Yeah, he was always at the bar.
Yeah.
Like
Nice. Oh, it's I don't even know if he's credited here. But
That'd be funny.
yeah. Anyway, they have the whole gang. The gang's all there minus TJ Miller. Which apparently is like they did or they didn't have a falling out. I don't know. I know there was a thing where he was like salty about it, and then I guess he forgave him or something after. Like he talked to him, and they were good afterwards. But I do think it's a little weird that they had like most of the surviving members of the previous movies, but not him. And then like
They didn't even talk about him either, so it's like he just disappeared.
yeah.
Maybe he met up with the TVA and they just,
He's
time
wandering the
stick and
void
all.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see him in Secret Wars.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the way I look at it is there's only so many people you can really put in a movie. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of people, but
I mean, hey, if the House of Mouse keeps on just pumping out that money train, sure.
I mean, realistic. He was what, a bartender? What was his role?
I mean, he was
that?
like, he ran the mercenary club.
Yeah, he was running the actual Deadpool that gets his name from.
Right. Yeah, so it was fun to see everyone though.
Yeah, it's great.
And of course, that leads us straight into the TVA. And despite the laws that he clearly would have been an issue in Loki, that he broke with Cable's time. What is it called? Device. Is there a name for that?
Time watch, I guess.
Time watch.
It looks like a watch.
Yeah. Despite doing
it's not
all
a temp pad because that's different.
That's a whole nother thing. Yep. Yeah, they're there for a different reason. But he does initially try to resist. I believe he doesn't go willingly, but then he just basically gets pushed through the portal. Right?
Wait a minute, you forgot about the whole thing where he says, "I'm not new to pegging, friendo, but Disney is."
I mean, I didn't forget.
I'm
certainly am not going to remember every single quip in this.
You're not a fan of International Women's Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think one of the TVA guys in the background with the whole mask on is actually Rob. What's his name?
McElhenney or Kenny?
Yeah. McElhenney. Yeah. That's the only time he's in there. He was supposed to be in he was in a whole other scene where apparently he was going to get eaten up by Elias, and he didn't. So they just cut that all out. And I think it's a prank because they prank on each other every year in the Rexit stuff. So I'm like, I think this is just Ryan Reynolds getting back at him for something. I'm like, which would be
sure, we'll definitely use that.
Totally Ryan Reynolds thing to do too.
Yeah, well, Rob did make some post about this viewing my role got cut or something like that in that specific cut of the movie or something.
And he's in the third season, he's totally in the movie because they have they blur out the whole screen except you can just see their faces talking about. He's you can tell he's in a TVA suit.
Nice.
So
is he the one that's in that scene? Is you there? I can't see your eyes, but I can feel them or whatever.
No, that's someone. I think that was someone else.
Okay.
I think you're thinking of.
Well, yeah. So he winds up going to the TVA, which is a slightly, significantly different look from what we'd seen in Loki season 1 and 2. But
I just think of it as new management took over, or it's Paradox's area. Maybe he made his troops a little look crazy. Well, actually, no. So they all looked.
Well, I think even is it B-15?
Yeah.
Is I think her uniform is different as well. So it's let's be honest.
I think she's like a judge now or something.
Yeah. But either way, it could be her new management, but it's at the end of the day, it's Marvel changing the look of things because that's what they do. That's why.
Well, plus they have a bigger, more money.
Yeah.
So why not? Hey,
true.
TVA is getting an upgrade.
But namely, that's why every single new movie, everyone gets a new costume.
But they did keep the aesthetic. They did keep the technology the same. They kept the temp pads the same. Yeah, I was surprised we didn't see Miss Minutes. I'm like, where's Miss Minutes? Why?
Oh, wait, wasn't she? Oh yeah, she didn't. She just got
because they
rebooted, right?
They were rebooting her, so or why was Owen Wilson. I was hoping he'd be here. Or Key, what's his name? I can't ever say his name right. K Kwan.
Oh yeah,
Or
Ki Hu Kwan or who is it? Who? It's Ki
yeah,
Hui Kwan. Is that how you say it, or is it Hu?
I think Hui.
Hui? Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha,
I could be wrong on that.
gotcha.
Don't trust me on this.
Yeah, but well, he's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
hilarious in Loki.
season 2 is great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't let me forget. I should put down in the notes. There's another reference later on in the. I'll see if I remember it. Something about. I'll just say it now. The like spaghettification that.
Oh yeah,
shows
yeah.
up
That
later.
was spot on. Still, looked the same.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys this. Like,
Yeah.
do you think there's hope that this isn't the last time we see the TVA involved in everything in the MCU?
Oh,
like,
I
because I was a
think we'll
little worried that after Loki, they're like, okay, we're
we'll
good.
see him again because I think the Void's going to be the base for what Secret Wars is going to be around, which is basically everyone's in the Void. Let's see who can survive and make a whole new world kind of thing. That's where I think that's all going to go down. So, and the TVA is going to be watching this like, wow, okay, kind of just hanging back. But I imagine they're going to have a role in it too.
Is that when we're gonna get Owen Wilson going? Wow.
Alright. Yeah, I was gonna say this is like one of the few things he did where he doesn't really do that so much, right? I mean, it's basically his personality, but yeah, it's a little less of the wow factor.
Wow.
So yeah, TVA is where it's where we meet this Paradox fellow who's as you alluded to, is he's got his own little
Department.
Yeah.
Time variance department. He's in section whatever universe he's on. What was it? 10003?
005? I think it's
I don't know.
5 at the end. But that's where that's where we see him explaining the sitch to him about his he's saying that what did you call it again, KT?
The anchor.
Anchor being,
being.
is slowly, because since Logan, he doesn't immediately say who it is, but he thinks it's himself at first, and
I think this makes sense because even though Paradox pulled Deadpool from prior years from Logan dying, when Paradox says, "Oh, it's going to take thousands of years for this," so you were literally like pulling him and oh yeah, he's going to die. He doesn't really tell him when, but it's like, okay, eventually he's going to die, but your universe is just going to, they already can see it like at the beginning. I think that's how they perceive it. They see like the starting of it, and he's like, yeah, we got to wait thousands of years before we can just like see this universe kind of die out now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still hurts the brain trying to think where the TVA lies in time, because that's even hurts my head.
A whole other thing, yeah. So he's basically saying, it could be a couple thousand years, but he doesn't want to.
Impatient.
Yeah, essentially, he so he says he's gonna trim it first, but he still needs him to.
Oh, but before that was who was it when he told him he was going to be an Avenger, or could be a part of the Avengers if he goes to and be on a sacred timeline or 616.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got that suit up when that guy was kept on like grabbing his ass and his balls. Like, what's happening here?
Yeah. So he needs him to. I was trying to remember if he specifically asks him to get a different Logan, or was that his idea?
That was his idea, because he's
his
like,
idea.
You're not killing my universe. So let's go get another Logan and go, anchor point. I did like how he just stole the temp pad, just opens a portal and just, and that dude's sitting there just watching him, like gonna fall into his like lap or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's great. That, and we get to see some of the Avengers in there, and
Oh,
as
the Thor and
the
the
Thor
Thor
scene.
scene. Yeah. Why is Thor crying?
He's holding a like half torn off face of Deadpool, or face of
Oh,
mask of Deadpool there. That was great.
that was
Um,
hilarious.
yeah, and then
You
of
know, so
course,
there's back and forth going like Chris Hemsworth and Ryan Reynolds were like, I know the secret, and then Chris Hemsworth's like, I do too. It's like messing each other back and forth.
um,
Uh,
yeah. So and then as you mentioned, he does wind up taking that temp pad and right before immediately before breaking the nose of of said paradox. Um, but yeah. Oh, I suppose he get the suit before all that.
yeah,
He got the suit right before all this
yeah,
exposition.
because like
And
Paradox is telling him, like, hey, you're in 616. You're going to be in the part of the Avengers. You're going to be in the Sacred Timeline. And then he's like, oh, sweet. No, I need a suit. And he's like, let's go get the suit up. And that's where the creepy guy starts fondling him
yeah, exactly.
and gets his adamantium swords.
Yeah. So did you hear what they actually did with those swords? The prop designer did.
Oh, I heard. Yep.
Like, so they're purposely designed to be black and gold, and on the bottom of both of the swords, one has like B. Arthur, and the other one has, I can't remember the initials, but he wanted in the movie to be for him to call him his Golden Girls
No,
because it was kind of a tribute.
it's
That's
all
great.
it's each one I thought was their initial for all four Golden Girls, as I thought.
Yeah. They had all of them, so like
Yeah.
it didn't make it the cut, but like the prop designer was like, oh yeah, I was really hoping that'd be he'd be
Oh
like, oh, these are
man,
my Golden Girls.
that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was neat that they did that. That was cool.
Nice. Yeah. So that scene was hilarious too with the guy like the creeper. It just
It's
it
like,
just accelerates the amount of ass slapping.
I
That goes
swear
on in that scene.
that last grab, it was like it sounded like a duck like noise when he.
how many takes do you think it took them to actually get those
I
properly?
have
You know,
no idea.
Oh man, it's good stuff. But yeah, so that scene was that was fun. That's when we proceed into the yeah, the
He gets
search.
pruned.
Oh,
No, that's
that's later, right?
before. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes on his search for his Logan, and we get the all of a sudden I can't think of the term.
Isn't that where
The montage, I
we catch up?
suppose, right?
We basically catch up to the opening, like where like, oh, okay, now you're caught up, and now that's where he starts looking for other Logans because he
Yeah,
basically killed everyone in the TVA that was going after him, going
that's
after
right.
his dead Logan. So then he starts jumping universes to see if he could find a suitable replacement.
Yep,
Anchor
yep.
Wolverine.
And that I don't know. Did you guys have a favorite of these alternate Logans?
I mean, the little one, the first one was hilarious because I mean that's technically how tall the height of a Wolverine is supposed to be, but the fact that he's like, oh, aren't you a cute little honey badger?
Well, the height of not not the height of a Wolverine. Well, the height
Well,
of the
the
Wolverine, the comic.
yeah,
Yeah.
the I'm not talking about the animal.
No. Well, the way you said it was that's the actual height of a Wolverine. I know those things are pretty small but ferocious.
They're like badgers.
Yeah, I think they're bigger probably, but anyway, yeah, that was fun. I mean, so we got that one, we got like the 80s one, the like Casino Royale one essentially.
We got that was Patch. That's his like alter ego in one of those universes. Then you got what was the other one with the one where he's got a metal arm, but he's got still claws, and he was like just going at Deadpool just with his claws. That one's like after Apocalypse basically destroys like his time. The other one where he's on the crucified X and with all the skulls, I'm like, I don't remember that one, but holy shit, that was intense. He's, and the fact he just like walks, he's like, it's not you, it's me. He just walks back through the portal.
Nice.
And then you got the other one where he's fighting the Hulk. I like how they show his claws come out and it's got the reflection of the Hulk in the back. On the
Oh.
claws, I mean.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah,
notice
yeah.
it at first.
That's fun. Yeah. So then, what else did we get though?
We got old man Logan
And of course,
sitting on his. What's that?
Old Man Logan.
Yeah, he was sitting up. Remember, he got he had the shotgun and shot him.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. With the, like,
It looked like he was from like
hat
we were
on.
like like the Wild Wild West or something. He's got the hat on and just sitting on his porch, shotgun.
Right. Yeah, and let's not forget, of course, the one and only Cavalrine was pretty amazing in there. But the one thing that I didn't catch the first time, this was nice about seeing it. I mean, you see these different things online about it, and I would never have even picked up on the cocking that he did from the Mission Impossible movie if I hadn't seen someone do the comparison shots. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because it was, this time it was his way of actually unleashing the claws. It was just basically doing that maneuver from the previous ones.
That was pretty neat to see him. I'm like, they actually called that for just fanfare right there, because you always see out there like people are, oh, Cavalry, Henry Cavill could be the next Wolverine, or Daniel Radcliffe I've heard of.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. Why not? He played Weird Al. Why not have him be Wolverine? That only makes sense.
I honestly thought he was going to be in one, like, be a cameo and be like the Patch character. That would have been cool, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. What about you, KT Data? You do you have a particular favorite?
Oh, I don't know. I really like that Patch one, because unless you're like deep into Wolverine lore, you're gonna be like, what? I don't get this. And I was like, oh, this is a great one, because I still remember a couple of comic covers where it's almost like picture perfect. I'm like, oh, this is the deep nerd inside of me that's super excited to see something on screen. You know, might say it's fan service, but
Yeah.
I feel like all of Deadpool is just a
it's all
giant fan service. So
Yeah.
Great.
That's fair. That is very fair. Yeah, so that was great. And then that's when, once he finds the right one, it's the whole deal at the bar, the classic. Pretty much where we've seen this in multiple movies at this point. I think the bar scenes with Logan, right?
Mm-hmm. He does like his brown liquor.
Yeah. But yeah, he certainly doesn't go very willingly. Probably worth noting, if we haven't mentioned it before, I think, Mike, you have the exact F-bomb count in this movie.
Oh yeah, I thought it was 117, but it says 116 online. So
Gotcha.
wasn't the
one off.
other one from Guardians or something?
Oh yeah, that makes it 117 complete. That makes sense. In the MCU.
Yeah, so that was I think many of those ended up coming from Hugh Jackman in this one. He's an angry Wolverine, but yeah, he ends up downing a whole thing of whatever it is, Jim Beam or something. But
Passing out.
Yep. And that is when we get brings him back to the TVA, drags him back to the TVA, I guess.
I like, before he dragged him back to TV. I like how he looks in his under his like shirt and sees his costume or his suit, and he looks at the camera. He's like, "It only took fucking 20 years."
Yeah, calls them pajamas or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, so then he brings him back to Paradox with his broken nose, and he says it's basically the worst of all the ones he could have brought him. It was the worst possible one, and apparently the entirety of the timeline or timelines, universes. What's the
Yeah, universes.
yeah? Well, I guess yeah. So that's something that they don't. I'm thinking out loud here a little bit too, because the
Oh, he's about to go jump down this big black hole that we're never going to get out of.
yeah. Well, so the TVA, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the TVA doesn't. I mean, they talk about timelines and they don't talk about alternate universes, right? Isn't that?
But there's also realms and altered dimensions. I don't know.
All right, forget it. Forget I said anything.
I
Yeah. So brings him back, and this is the worst possible one, and because apparently he did something very bad, very very bad in his where he comes from. Let's just say, so
something that killed all his X-Men.
yeah, what's that basically they get pruned is what happens.
Hey, I like how they kept the pruning effect the same too. They didn't change it.
Yeah.
Same as Loki.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Void still had when you got in the Void, you saw the opening portals where just stuff was just falling down still.
Yeah, that was cool. And other certain things about the Void. I mean, so yeah, let's jump right into the Void. Speaking of which, I tell you, this is also one of I loved this. I loved every aspect of this. KT, how did you when you first saw them the Void showed up, what were your thoughts on
Okay.
this?
Okay, so I gotta ask you guys this first. Have you guys seen Furiosa?
Yes.
Remember her name? Okay. So I probably went too deep on this, but right when I saw that caravan coming in and I saw the motorcycles, I'm like, oh, no, there's no way they got Hemsworth to just be riding those motorcycles, right? As a Mad Max.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
I was actually slightly disappointed when it was like, oh, they totally just missed a chance just to have them there coming riding on the motorcycles is a little nod to yet another thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
But strangely enough, when I first saw this, I actually went the first time I went to go see this movie, I went with someone Shane and I know who is a huge Mad Max fan. Like we would not stop talking about Fury Road ever.
Who may or may not have been asked to be on this episode.
Yeah. So the first thing when I see this, oh my gosh, he is probably just flipping out right now. Like I probably need to bring him a new pair of pants after seeing this.
Yep, exactly. And they literally say it by name. They say, Mad Max. It looks very Mad Maxy in here, but can't say it for copyright infringement reasons or whatever. But yeah, clearly what they're going for 100% here. And of course, right off the bat, we get what do they refer to him as? Like basically a savior kind of, despite Deadpool being Marvel Jesus in this movie, this guy is like he's presented as at first I thought it's going to be like Kevin Feige or something. But as it's revealed, we get Chris Evans. I almost said the wrong Evans, yes. So many Chris's.
Chris Evans.
Which was awesome to see. And then the big reveal. I mean, it was so I didn't even know. It didn't even come to mind because did you guys think was this accent more in keeping with Fantastic Four? because I feel like he had like a little more of a Brooklyn kind of accent, maybe.
And I think it was more going for his like how he acted like when he was playing Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four movies.
And I didn't like it sounded a little bit different initially, but I didn't really pick up on it necessarily right off the bat. But that what they revealed because so I guess the big caravan of Mad Maxy kind of vehicles shows up before that, and seeing all these other characters that we've seen in X-Men movies was great because it took me a split second to recognize Pyro, to be honest, because I mean I don't really know what else that guy's been up to, but Sabretooth obviously like unmistakable. That was so cool to see them in there, and for some reason there's like a Sweet Tooth looking vehicle there too. If you guys noticed that.
Oh, that was in that was in Moon Knight.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's that
We
vehicle that he's in the first episode.
We need more.
Like-
we need more Moon Knight. It's been too long. But yeah, we also got the 20th Century Fox logo in there. That was cool. It's hilarious, actually.
I think my favorite part of that when they get in the void is when they basically Wolverine's just pissed off, like, all right, you got me here, and starts like spits out the bullet out of his mouth, and he's just like, let's fucking go. I'm like, oh god, yeah. And then Deadpool's like, get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna be good.
Oh, of course.
And they go nuts. I'm like, oh my god. And you go see a little bit of like what's his name? Like I think it's called like the Berserker Wolverine or like the Rabid Wolverine, where he kind of loses control, and then they just when they go with his adamantium claws against his katanas, I'm just like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I totally spaced on that. Yeah, their first big fight.
Yeah.
was
Not the
good.
last one.
No. But yeah, that was great. And then yeah, I guess that's when we see Chris Evans show up, and we get the big reveal of what does he say? What the heck does he say? Something about get closer or something like that, or hold on. I think he says,
yeah.
and then Deadpool goes right up to him up from behind, and then he's like, "Avengers, flame on!" That's so good.
He's like, wait, what?
And yeah, he doesn't. He jumps up and then very quickly falls onto the platform from whence he came.
Well, he made the mistake of going after Pyro, like shooting his flame at Pyro, and Pyro's like literally like, okay, I can just take this. Cool, thanks.
Yeah,
like,
not the best first one to go after.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go after one of them, go after one with the gun or Sabretooth, you know.
Yeah, but his fall looked quite painful.
Oh, that was hilarious. That felt like total Looney Tunes moment right there.
Yep. Yeah, so that was fun seeing all those fun cameos in there. But that was certainly it isn't the last of them.
That was just a tease.
Yeah. We get Sabretooth. Yeah, he has a very short-lived cameo though. I looked that guy up, that actor, and he's totally bald actually too. But you know, it happens. But yeah, they get rounded up to then go see the. I'm sure there's a name for the fortress. I just put down Castle Ant-Man because that's somehow we get the giant.
Just living in that dead Ant-Man corpse.
Yeah, which was fun. It took me a second to like put together that it literally was, because there's a skull underneath there, and that's when we get the oh look, because Paul Rudd does age or whatever comment.
Uh,
Um,
that was funny.
yeah, and so man, what you guys think of that? That was it's interesting. A lot more. I mean, it was cool to see the Ant-Man costume in there, but then all these other
Yeah.
cameos too. There's just a ton of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you saw like, I mean, they weren't all the original actors, but they just have the characters back. That's kind of neat that they did that, especially the Juggernaut.
Yeah, even though
It still was the one that I didn't really want to see, but there we go. But that was neat. The whole Chris Evans losing his skin. I was not expecting that to happen, but wow,
no, that one
wow.
really caught me off guard for sure.
It was just like, all right, and he's gone. And then Deadpool was just like something about like the budget,
Yeah,
the movie
yeah,
budget.
exactly. Well, and they also comment on it being like the fifth Juggernaut or something like that. Well, literally in the last Deadpool, and I guess I didn't
Yeah,
know
that was
Ryan
the
Reynolds
closest-
was
Oh yeah,
supposedly
he
him.
did the CGI movement or whatever, how they capture that, the motion capture for it,
Right.
and it's his voice, but just changed up a little bit.
This one looked definitely closer to Vinny
Yeah, that's
What's his
that's
face?
the one they were going for.
Vinny Jones, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun seeing. We had Toad in there, I think.
Was that Ray Park though? Was that?
Yeah, I
actually
wondered
Ray-
about that. I doubt it. I don't know. Let's take a look.
I actually didn't look up IMDb. I guess.
Yeah, I've got it up here. Let's see. I'm guessing it's not him, but
Yeah,
no, I don't see Ray Park on the list here.
Okay. Because some people are like, "Oh, it's Ray Park." It's like I don't think that is him. I mean, Tyler Mane came back for Sabretooth, but that was like short-lived.
Right. Yeah.
And I really think Sabretooth was the only original actor that came back to reprise his role somewhere. Like out of those
Oh,
one like those side, the side X-Men
and
called.
Pyro, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pyro. Sorry, yeah, Pyro too. Whoops.
And yeah, of the X-Men, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, and then of course we get was it Casanova? What's her name? Cassandra Nova.
Cassandra Nova.
Casanova. Oh yes.
Hey.
She's
That would have been a really amusing thing.
she's an interesting, Charles Xavier's twin. Which
Did you know that they put prosthetic, like made her fingers longer? Actually,
oh
they put prosthetics on her finger to make her fingers look actually longer. That's not. I was like, at first when I saw her, I'm like, those are really long fingers for some actress. I'm like, holy crap! Like,
yeah,
and then they're like, yeah, we just put like prosthetic fingers on her. Like, oh, okay, cool.
right.
She had to reach into, oh, that was weird too when she started reaching into his like brain. Like, I was like,
Yeah,
that's new.
that was a really cool thing. I like the CGI on that was super
good.
neat.
But it was so creepy though. Like it was like, ugh, unsettling again. Like just thinking about it, like, imagine what would that feel like if someone's just like, deep inside your cranium, just like, ooh, let me see what's in here.
Right.
Ooh.
KT, what did you think of the Cassandra Nova character?
Oh, so I'll be honest. I didn't know anything about her prior to this, other than when you play her, she takes 1 point off all your characters in your deck, because I've only known her from Marvel Snap. So I was like, who is this? Am I supposed to know who this is? Like, I
Right.
feel like I'm losing a little bit of my nerd card. But yeah, and when she's like probing people, I'm like, oh, if anybody asks me what you think getting skull fucked as, this is what I'll show people, like right there. So, like I imagine that is the perfect visual representation of it.
Yeah.
Right? Oof.
Yeah. The man, that it's the whole it's creepy. She's a creepy character, I gotta say.
She is.
She does
But
such
she
a good
does
job
really
too.
good.
Yeah. But yeah, she did a great job, I thought. The only thing I was like a little bit confused about there is like, whatever. Gotta stop questioning the timeline stuff, but but the fact that Xavier,
Please stop.
well, in this case, I'm like Xavier's like what 60 years
Well-
older or something.
Right. But so what I read about Cassandra Nova, because I didn't really know much about her, but I knew that she came from like was Xavier's twin. I'm like, that's new. Which is it's a new storyline. It's not an old one. But he basically like wraps the umbilical cord around her neck and like just basically chokes her out, and she like not to be graphic, but she basically oozes out of the womb and just
Ugh,
goes into the sewer or something and just rebuilds her body.
goes into the sewer. Oh wow.
Yeah, like literally rebuilds her body, and that's why she's all deformed and she's supposed to be more horrifying looking than what we got in Deadpool. So
Yeah.
like,
So what's the deal with she's got like Xavier doesn't have regenerative powers or anything, right?
no, she's like she's not even human technically. She's like not even mutant. She's supposed to be called something like this Xavier's Mumu Dry, Mama Dry, they call it. It's
Okay.
weird.
All right.
Just you're gonna have to read about it because it's about the. You remember in X-Men '97 where Xavier's off planet?
Oh, has everyone seen this?
The spoiler episode.
Yeah. I mean,
Not re-
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's that alien culture. It's they call it the Mumu Dry or yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, did these comic writers, did they really like, I mean, were they on shrooms? Were they on acid? What were they doing when
Yes.
they thought of that? Wow.
Mhm.
So yeah, what'd you guys think of Nice Pool and Dog Pool?
I mean, who can hate on Dogpool? I love Dogpool.
I know.
He's so amazing.
Oh my God.
Nice Pool he reminds me of Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place a little too much for my life.
Yeah. Hey, I actually remember I watched that show back in the day. It's early on. That was my
TGI
first,
Fridays, yeah.
that was my first intro into Ryan Reynolds actually.
Can you believe Ryan Reynolds was like, I thought Van Wilder was just like first thing because that's when I first got introduced to him.
Yeah, it was
Love that
definitely
movie.
the second thing I think I saw him in, but yeah, it was fun surprise. I read something today that character, like the look in that character, might have been in like as a joke, like side thing in a like he interviewed Ryan Reynolds or something at some point, but it was at least the look of that character. Maybe I wasn't able to find it yet, but it seemed like it was the opposite, where he was like drilling Ryan Reynolds or something, like interview questions. But yeah, totally nice, and he's got like I felt like it was an overt Canadian accent maybe too. But love that, and then Dogpool was obviously the amount of licking. I'm wondering the whole time. I'm thinking like, what are they putting on Ryan Reynolds' lips to like?
I don't think they did. I don't. I
Oh
really
no,
don't.
they did. I actually heard an
Oh, they
interview
did?
of this because
Good.
I heard an interview about this, and like when they were doing this, the dog did not want to cooperate whatsoever on there. So they like tried everything, and I can't remember what they put in it. It was like some kind of fungus or something in his mouth for the dog to finally do it.
Fungus.
And he was I can't remember what it was, but he's like, so he's like, there are behind the scenes shots of him trying to do this so many times, and he's like, you know how hard it is not to break while you're trying to deliver this line. The dog trainer has put some weird crap into your mouth, so the dog will start licking you, and the dog's licking you at the same time. You just try to deliver with a straight face, and he's like, that was like the longest, like one of the longest scenes to shoot because they could not say, keep a straight face for it.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the shot came out perfect because he's just like, he has his mouth open, just looking at the other dead or Nice Pool, and just like,
Yeah, they're how like you can even see Hugh Jackman sometimes he would just start breaking up.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so that was the also what led to the Honda Odyssey that they end up driving off it, and
Oh yeah, doesn't want to give up dog pool.
he says, "Oh, the cornfield's too thick to run
Sorry,
through."
buddy.
But what is it about? He just freaks out about the Honda Odyssey too.
Oh,
Because
he's just pissed about it because he just knows all its features because he's like being a car salesman.
oh, right.
Such a piece of crap.
Yep, but that gets them through the corn and then off into the forest where they have once again another lovely fight.
Bonding moment. I call these bonding moments.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, what else are you gonna do when you both have regenerative powers, and why not? You know, it's constant pain all the time. May as well just pretend to kill
Give
each
the
other.
people what they pay for. They want some Deadpool Wolverine fights. Let's see it.
Yeah, but that was
I was all for it. Like, this
Yeah.
is awesome.
Was this the one that he like dislocates his shoulder and he has to like snap it back?
Oh
I-
yeah. He makes
That,
the
that
noise
got
like,
me. I'm like,
"Ah!"
oh!
No. Ah! That's great.
Did you notice when
man.
he's hitting I think it's Deadpool or Wolverine's head on the radio. It keeps changing to different songs, and some of them are like Hugh Jackman's like musical like
Yeah,
songs that
really?
he's sang.
Do they
Yeah,
have the
'cause
Greatest Showman in there or something?
Yeah,
that's the first one. And
Is it really?
Because all you hear is oh, and I was like, oh my gosh, seriously.
Nice. But they make a mess of that Odyssey. Holy
Oh yeah.
cow.
And then no, the best line was Ryan Rose like, "Wow, this Odyssey can fuck." Something like that. Like,
yeah, that was good.
oh,
And then Wade, he wakes up with the seatbelt somehow. It's just completely.
Did you
Like
notice
mummified.
they
Yeah.
tried to make it like after like they start panning to like the back of the Odyssey, you just see I think you see the Odyssey symbol or whatever, and
Oh, the
cars keep on
coexist
going up and
sticker?
down.
Oh
They're
yeah.
trying to make it look like it's a sex scene or something. I didn't think of that the first time I watched it, and then the second time I just saw it, I'm like, huh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. So after
'Cause-
all that,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, was there one more thing you were saying?
Well, I was gonna say I think that's why he said this Odyssey can fuck,
Mhm.
and then he's like,
So that was that was after all that, all through the night, we get who I thought
And-
what was that?
After all the boys have extrude all their energy.
Yeah, exactly.
passed out.
I don't know. I just recognize the pants or something, like they seem like the same outfit from Logan, that because they didn't immediately show X-23, but I thought it was apparent for some reason. It's the same kind of outfit, I guess. But
But you already knew she was in there because they kind of spoiled that, right? I'm like, why are they? I was surprised that they did that. To be honest,
oh, I don't even know.
they
I
could put in a
don't,
trailer.
Did they have her in there? Okay,
They-
I didn't even.
They had it
remember
in a
so
trailer. I was like, really?
this is where having
Yeah.
a bad memory is an advantage.
I don't know. I've seen that trailer at least like 20 times, and I didn't even remember that they had her in it for some
Yeah,
reason until I'm like, oh yeah.
but
But-
that's
but this next scene though, I'm telling you, you guys. I know you guys want to talk about the other cameos, but let me tell you guys a story.
yeah. Let's hear it.
Like when KT was a really young lad, there was this very prominent actor that was playing in this little old ABC TV show called Alias, and KT had the biggest crush
Oh
on this character right here.
yeah.
He would watch every single movie that she was in. So that sets you the scene while we're watching this, and then they're kind of doing their spiel in the cave, and then somebody walks in, and the first thing you see is Jennifer Gardner come in. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing cameo. not
Mhm.
expecting for what's coming after, but I was like, oh, this is amazing that they had this right here. But I also will tell you, this is how I know I've gotten old. Because over the years, more and more now, and now it's almost exclusively that Jennifer Gardner is the mom in all these movies, and I'm like, oh, I'm probably getting old. Because even in this one, she's driving the effing van like a soccer mom would do, and I'm like, oh my god, seriously.
Yeah,
That's
how does that vehicle actually survive after all that?
I don't know.
chaos?
I mean, the fact that it's still driving after all that happened to it,
Yeah.
it's a trooper.
But as KT suggested, the next cameo, which was the best. Well, I mean, I love Jennifer Garner too. Don't get me wrong, but when they brought Wesley Snipes out next, I was like, "Holy shit!"
That was
they
not
did it.
expected.
Those sons of bitches did it. Because it was like, I mean, there's all this Blade talk with Mahershala Ali and like it keeps getting canceled, and like what's happening with Blade, and this is the
Well, it's
first.
not getting canceled. They just keep.
I mean, just keeps getting
There's having
like,
differences on the scripts.
yeah,
It's
but
kind of annoying at this point.
Because you guys heard it got pushed back yet again.
Yeah.
yeah,
If I was Mahershala Ali, I'd be like, you know what? I'm over it. Just
right. I thought
bring Wesley Snipes back.
right. I thought it was at one point. I thought I'd heard that he was done, but I guess he hasn't given up yet. But
He
anyway,
hasn't given up yet. But
this is the first Blade appearance, live action appearance since Blade Trinity, right?
yeah,
Which
where they
had
that's
Ryan
where
Reynolds
the feud-
in it. And they
where the feud happened. They
Yeah,
didn't like each other.
they totally allude to it, like like his comment. I think the comment's like, "You never did like me" or something like that, or
Yeah.
which is great.
Well-
I think it's great that they were able to come together and
Or
be in this.
I don't know if this was before or after, but when he mentions to Jennifer Gardner, oh, sorry about Daredevil, you know, because
He says it's fine.
Daredevil.
Yeah, because
Ben Affleck,
apparently Daredevil didn't make it in the void, but that was great, and I hope it's some of the stuff. And I guess we didn't mention the divorce comment. I think was earlier about because
Oh,
Hugh didn't have the wasn't showing his abs as he let himself go since the divorce or whatever. I love like there's so much. I didn't expect that amount of fourth wall breaking in this one. Like
I was surprised Hugh was all okay with that. I'm like, wow, he went there.
he did. I
Wow.
think it's like well, I know him and his wife were together for like 30 years, and I think they still have a good relationship. I want to say like, so. But some of that stuff, it's
It's just fun. It's
yeah,
just
roasting, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the other comment about Wesley Snipes, he retired from acting or whatever. It's like a direct, his what tax evasion or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, that was great. And then, my goodness, if they couldn't if I didn't think it was possible to outdo it, they bring out Channing Tatum as Gambit, and I was like, what?
Did you? Now that he came out, like he finally got his Gambit, like he got his Gambit star. I don't even know how you call it. Anything, whatever. He
Yeah.
got his way finally
His
because he
moment.
got it canceled at Fox, and now I think there's actual talks for him coming back as Gambit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like this idea that he'd finally get his movie, but I feel like post Magic Mike Channing Tatum is way too ripped. Like, if you look at his suit and like, yeah, those steroids are making him look way too buff in the suit.
Well, also he kind of needs, with Deadpool's like, who's your dialect coach? I'm like, yeah, you should probably work on that Cajun accent just a bit.
Well, I think so. So the thing that I did read it that way at first, and then I think so. I actually liked the accent. I mean, it was that. What is it? Not Krill accent. What is it called? It's the
Creole.
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 It's. I mean, it's pretty accurate to the cartoon. I thought. But
it seemed like a little too like much because I was like, I know I could understand Gambit in the cartoon version, but
yeah.
I was like, what did he just say?
Well, and I thought that was more of Ryan Reynolds' comment in that particular scene was like that he couldn't understand him essentially. Was that part of it? But I thought it was really like I thought he nailed it honestly. Like yes, it wasn't. I mean, it could have been better, of course.
What was an accurate look
See,
of how he should look instead
perfect.
of that one we got?
I
in
agree. AP
other
Dub says it's perfect. I agree. Maybe not perfect, but it was great.
Does he still have that button that's Mike's right?
Yeah, there's a command in there. Herschel's probably on it.
Or-
So there's
Or Herschel?
there is Mike. You mentioned the comment about him not having red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did notice he does. There are some moments where his eyes do turn red, at least in there.
That's yeah. I saw that, but in the like whatever every time I seen like the comic version or the cartoon version, his eyes always red. Doesn't matter.
Right.
He's got like a black.
I feel like that was just Channing Tatum. Like, no, I don't want to wear contacts.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
have you guys ever worn like hard contacts? Because that's what you need to get a consistent
Well,
color. They are very annoying to wear.
I believe
I'm
it.
surprised they didn't try to like just like try some CG or whatever they could try with it, or I don't know. But yeah,
It was
But the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have had to rip his skin off like in 10 minutes.
It was a creative choice, yeah. But yeah, it's a good question. I'm not sure, but other than that, like, yeah, I thought it was spot on. And then of course we get X-23 who shows up, unsurprisingly, and I don't know why I had it in my head. So, you know what it was? I was mixing her up with. I for some reason I was thinking she only had 2 claws on each hand, but she's got the full 3, right?
No, she's only got 2.
Okay.
But she got the toes. That's where the
Yeah,
third
she's
one
got
went.
she's got the toes. She's
Okay, gotcha. Because there was also one in X2 that was I don't remember the character's name, but I think she also had 2. Right?
the one with the long finger ones.
Yeah. Oh, they're finger ones. Okay. Yeah.
She had the finger.
Well, there
that
was a
grew out,
scene.
yeah.
Well, the only reason I question is I could have sworn there was a scene in this movie where she had. I thought I saw three claws, but I guess not. I guess I missed.
No, she has 2, but she has all 4 arms and legs that are beaten, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you guys like my note here about the cameo Maya?
Yeah.
Because it's a smorgasbord of cameos and more. Yeah, it's good stuff though.
You think that's gonna be bad? Wait, man.
So that's the plan. They go there. They fight and Logan's very reluctant. He's not gonna go. He's drinking his whiskey, and actually that was a pretty fun scene with the cards, and he's drinking all of Gambit's liquor, and
Oh yeah, he throws a card at
the
it.
first bottle, but he finds another one. And then before this big final fight, they go quote unquote final fight. They go to have a little bonding moment between X-23 and Logan, where he's just drinking straight out of the bottle or on the fire, and she gives him a nice little speech. Essentially ends on the note of you were never the right guy, and despite all the things in his world that he did wrong, he can still do right. And so at first we think he's not coming along, of course, and then we see them in the van there on the way to the palace or whatever you want to call it.
The Ant-Man Palace.
And they have their moment of stepping out of the vehicle, getting.
Oh no!
ready to-
What about the? I forgot the line about when Blade gets up. Something about how he's like, I'm the only Blade or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah,
I'll always be the
I
only
was
Blade.
like,
Oh, that's right.
oh, man.
because he has his.
And Deadpool just looks like,
That's right, because right before that he uses the rocket launcher or whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
he launched to
Yeah,
bust
blow a
open the
hole
front
into
gate.
yeah,
Yep, yeah.
aka
Only,
Ant-Man's hands.
only ever gonna be one blade. Yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
And we do see after they all step out of the vehicle that that Wolverine's been in the trunk.
I love the drunk uncle hangover crawl out that he does, though. He's like,
Yeah, that was
"Argh."
great.
Nice. Yeah, so they start fighting with who do we got in there? I don't know the like devil guy, but he was in like Last Stand.
He was
I want
in
to say.
X-Men First Class.
Oh, was it First Class? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like he's supposed to be the evil Nightcrawler, right?
Right.
If I remember
Exactly.
correctly.
Yeah. I don't know. This obviously is not Daredevil, but so, is it something Devil? I'm not sure what that character's name is, but
I think
Yeah,
his name's
I'm sticking with
Azazel.
Daredevil.
'cause
I'm gonna
Oh.
stick with Daredevil just to confuse everybody.
what would you say it was, Mike?
Azazel, something like that.
Azazel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is. Yeah, he's basically that's what I was thinking too. He's essentially Nightcrawler, but yeah, Red Nightcrawler, but he just looks like a devil. And yeah, like I said, Toad winds up. What were you saying?
Like, I was gonna say, the reason why they're there though, like, is because they're trying to get what's his name, Juggernaut's helmet to stop Cassandra Nova from using
Yep.
her powers
Yep.
and stuff. So
Right, and they yeah, they fight though. They're fighting, trying to get that Juggernaut's helmet, and they also yeah, Toad. He gets his tongue like wrapped around himself or something at some point. I want to say in there.
he gets killed. I think.
They kill him.
Oh, he's dead, bud.
I was
He's dead.
actually satisfied that I don't know why Toad is like, he annoys me. He's an annoying character.
Yeah.
It's like Jar Jar Binks, but with a freaking long tongue.
Somehow I knew you were going Jar Jar on that one. Yeah, but B Dubs is using Logan to speak in the chat, or Logan as using Gambit speak in the chat. I see. Woo! Looks like someone gonna make a. I can't even repeat
Make
that.
an name for themselves.
Make a name for themselves. Yeah, all strung together. That's good. But yeah, so they're fighting. They're fighting. They're having a good time. They're fighting.
I love that the Gambit staff comes out too.
Oh yeah, that's
That
right.
never made sense to me, but I always loved it because it was cool. I was like, why doesn't the staff explode like the cards? But it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Right?
But it's so cool that I'm okay with it.
It's like
yeah.
he just pulls that back or something. He's like, no, I just pull it back out here and I'm good. Yeah.
They do have a oh, what was it? So this was technically the second Gambit appearance, I want to say, in a live action movie, right? Because we had
Yeah.
him briefly in, was that first
Wolverine.